My name is Maddie Place.
And I'm Brian Place, and we are the proud franchisees and owners of Granite Bay and Roseville Dutch Bros Coffee. 17 years ago in Eugene, Oregon, but we moved up there for school. We'd moved from Southern Oregon, and it was the cool job. I mean, everybody that, we were having a hard time making friends, being new to an area and trying to get into a social network.
So I didn't think that I was outgoing enough. I used to be really shy, and I was like, I don't think I'm cut out for that. Like, that is not my gig. And so our mutual roommate was working there. He started working there, and I'm like, gosh, now I feel left out. I said, okay, I'll give it a try. I'll just see. And 6 months after he got hired, I got hired on. So started in Eugene, kind of just started as a job to get us through college, really. And then fast forward 2 years into, so this was started in 2007, 2009, this guy proposed to me, and, we started really talking like, okay, what are we doing with our lives? Like, we're going to school. I went to school for journalism and public relations, so I feel like I'm kind of using my degree. He went to school for sports medicine, so not quite using his degree, but that's okay. But we realized doing internships and that kind of thing, we just didn't love what we were going to school for. And so we thought, you know what, it'd be cool if we could do what we're doing now with Dutch Bros and make that a career. Brian reached out to headquarters and said, hey, we're really interested in franchising. Can you, what do we need to do? And they said, hey, that's really cool, but we're not allowing new franchisees to come in right now because we don't know where our economy's going, yada, yada. And they said, hey, just keep doing your job, perfect your skill, become managers, do whatever you need to do. So we did. We kept our head down and we just worked really hard. And over that time, I think you became a manager, I became an assistant manager. We got married, we graduated school, all the things. So Brian gets a call in 2011 from headquarters. Yeah. And they're like, hey, we're opening the floodgates. Like, I think we're in a healthy position now to let new franchisees come in. So why don't you and Maddie come down to headquarters in Grants Pass and we'll talk about your future. And at the time, this was 2012, there were 2 Dutch Bros in the entire Sacramento area, one being in Woodland and one in Auburn. So nothing really in Sacramento. And so we said, okay, this is kind of a risk. I'll never forget it. One afternoon, we're at our house and Brian looks at his cell phone and it says Travis Boersma calling. And we're like, oh my gosh, this is the call. So we answer, we put it on speakerphone, and you tell this story well.
Oh gosh, it was just, we're sitting in our living room and he calls, he's like, hey. I'm like, hey, what's going on? He's like, it's Trav. And I'm like, yeah, I could see that. What's going on, man? And he's like, hey, I just wanted to call and let you know, like, I know you guys were interested in the Granite Bay shop, and I know some stuff has happened where that territory has come available. And you guys, have been working diligently in the area, and you've been really, boots on the ground, working hard to get the name out there. And he's like, I know you guys have expressed interest in this location. He's like, but, and when you hear but, you go, oh gosh, but what? And he goes, but, we have to think as a company and put the right people in that place. What did he say though? What did he say?
Oh, he said, congratulations, you guys are those people. We feel like you're fit for it. And he said, go celebrate, have a cocktail and a fish dinner.
And a fish dinner. And
I'll never forget it.
I was like, perfect. I love fish, so this is going to be great.
It was just so funny. We didn't want another coffee company. I mean, that was it.
Dutch Bros, for us, Dutch Bros offered a culture that was unmatched. There were people that were just vibrant and exuding this just awesomeness, like radiating kindness and love, and it was something that was very attractive, and it was a force that it was something that we looked at and we wanted to be a part of it, and there were a lot of other people who wanted to be a part of it, and none of the other coffee shops around had that it factor. So it was something that we saw and we're like, dude, that is so cool, I want to be a part of that. And when we finally did get to be a part of the company, it was everything and more that lived up to be. I mean, it opened the door for so many relationships and friendships and things to this day that people we still talk to and we're still great friends with.
Yeah.
That it opened the door for. And then opening our first shop, our first business, it was all new. Like everything was new.
We've never run a business before.
We hadn't run a business before at that point, so we knew how to manage. But now you're looking at finances. You're looking at, there's a ton of bills to be paid. everything is, it costs you on this and it costs you on that, and then you have to make sure that you're bringing in enough, and are there enough customers coming through? Are you selling enough coffee? I mean, there was a lot of worry and a lot of angst, but it's one of those things that we just kind of rolled with the punches, and God is good, and He's given us, a lot of grace in a lot of areas, but then also just provided for us. So we've been in a position where we've been very blessed.
Yeah.
We're going to take this for our whole life and be able to look back and say, man, thank you to that person that hired us way back in the day and opening up the store for us to be a part of the company, because it's changed our lives forever. And hopefully, it'll lead to those employees going on and taking the culture of Dutch Bros and expanding that through other careers and other places, and being able to grow and remember that, hey, that was a fun time. That was a fun time in my life where I got to serve coffee and smile and slap high fives and just, life is good.
Yeah.
And that I think is a success indicator for me. I mean, granted, also being able to pay the bills and whatnot is good.